Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to the people of the world and to the people of the Republic of the Philippines, people of the Federation of Malaysia, the people of Sabah and Mindanao. Magandang umaga. This morning, I have to tackle down the issues that involve what we call the National Liberation Front of Southern Philippines. It has been an issue that has been discussed for a quite number of months by the group of Multiracial Federal Republic of the Philippines that has been initiated by Her Excellency Queen Maria Makiling, Panulino Abdurajak, and King Raha Mohammad Ghamar Hasan Mamay Abdurajak. This Mindanao Federal Republic of the Philippines, or multiracial, it has been established by the three strong leadership led by the three Supreme Sultan. We have Sultan Kailawan of Region 10 and Sultan Muda Utik, Sultan Hasim Sultan of Region 12, and yours truly, Supreme Sultan Raja Buayan of Region 9. With all these issues laid down for discussion, we came to the table and a final solution to the problems of Mindanao, and particularly to the problem that is being heard and seen, the standoff in Sabah, Malaysia. We came to the table and organized the National Liberation Front of Southern Philippines. Last January 22 in Indanan, Sulu, at the remnant palace of Jamalul Alam III, who had signed the treaty, Lease Treaty of 1878. We have made this organization last January 22, 2013. Out of this result, a few days after or a week after, Mindanao people, numbering no less than 1.5 million, with a strong armed forces of 75,000, that is overall Mindanao, who are now active, come and support the National Liberation Front of Southern Philippines. We have already an officers within the realms of Mindanao and Sulu Archipelago. Yours truly, considered as a founder and the chairman of this front, and Her Excellency Queen Maria Makiling Abdurajak was considered as a co-founder, and my vice chairman is Supreme Sultan Kili Kailawan of Region 12. And then we also come to a point and be accepted by a group of appointees. We have our own Secretary General, spearheaded on the Christian side, spearheaded by Macario Luis, and also in the Muslim side, we have the former MNLF known and noted commander Jack Jakiri of Kolo, and in other side, in Region 10, 13, we give it to Bai Lilia Nadila Nud, who is considered as a queen of the jungle and who commands the New People's Army on that hinterland. Now, as far as 12, Region 12 is concerned, it is also commanded by Sultan Hasim, who holds the Los Command Group, and the breakaway MILF, which is supporting us, headed by Chief Commander Indak. And the MNLF in the southern Philippines, with is yours truly, who had been a division commander of the National Border Command, Moro National Liberation Front, with all my sympathizers and group are also supporting this front. Now, this front, this is about economic development and peace. We are inimical to war because we don't want to war. We want peace and we want development. In Mindanao, we have been at war for a quite number of years, but the result is losing, is a lost result. Both the government, the armed forces of the Philippines, and the Moro National Liberation Front, likewise also the MI, have been doing this, but still the impact is a little bit very detrimental. It is something wherein it is cannot be forgotten because there are 100,000 of lives lost, mostly are civilians, and there are millions of property destroyed, which is the property of the civilian and not the property for those who initiated the conflict or the war. Through this experience, we also seen in the newspaper, even actually our king and our queen had visited Sabah and give us the briefing what had happened there. The same happened what had happened in Mindanao. Now all this massive killing, all this destruction, this is a violation to the human rights. It is a violation to the law of God, to divine law. So let us not look for this violation. Let us look a solution wherein it does not violate the human rights in the universe and also the human rights that is being created and mandated by the Almighty God, Allah. And I believe there are solutions by not going to war, by not destroying lives. A solution is I am asking the assistance, the help of the people of Mindanao to support this front that we have, the National Liberation Front. This is the only solution wherein the two countries, the relationship will come to be stable by talking on the table. The Republic of the Philippines and the Federations of Malaysia. We have been together in peace since our grandfathers, because Malaysia and the Philippines, it is owned by our own grandfather. we are now come to open by having this organization, this movement, the National Liberation Front, to solve the peace, not only in the Republic of the Philippines, not only in Federation of Malaysia, particularly in Sabah, the standoff now. This is entirely possible. We will help for peace in entire world through this movement that we are initiating. This movement, we have four objectives. First, we have to resolve the illegal activities, insurgency, rebellious activities in Mindanao and Sulu Archipelago. We have learned, in spite of the initiative made by our government, the national government, but still there are tangible, there are obvious illegal activities in our country and even in Mindanao. There are insurgency because there are groups that come up and fight and overthrow and fight against the government. There are insurgency even to the extent of expansion their evilous act toward the Sabah government. There are rebellious in which at this present moment of time I can predict there are still groups who wish to be recognized, but it is by means of arms, in which this is a violation to the principle of motto of the National Liberation Front of Southern Philippines. The other one is to stop the ambition plan of the group of Kiram III in Sabah, Malaysia. This is our intention, that we have to stop really the ambition plan of Kiram III. As a matter of fact, the king and the queen had been there in Sabah, Malaysia, to talk with the highest officials of the SIB country to at least give a consideration that those who are misled leaders and misled sympathizers who are making a sabotage, who are making a war in Sabah is being misled. It is being initiated or brainwashed by a certain persons whose intention is more on his personal aggrandizement. And we come to talk with these people. As a matter of fact, last 2 days, I have received a group from Tawi-Tawi that they are willing to reinforce Sabah, to fight there in Sabah. I have called them to stop because it is not noble to fight against our brother in Malaysia, and this thing had been already resolved. You are only be using by a certain person that his interest is only for himself or for the few person. The 100 forces from Tawi-Tawi did not proceed and stop their intention to go to Sabah because they believe that our National Liberation Front of Southern Philippines has a good intention because ours is for peace and economic development. And we have all know, if only our brothers will have to analyze on the other side, to analyze what has been in Manila Accord in July 31, 1963, that there was already an agreement between the Republic of the Philippines and the Federations of Malaysia for peaceful means concerning Sabah. It is more on democratic process, asking the people of Sabah whether they wanted to be a part of the Republic of the Philippines or whether they wish to be a part of the Federation of Malaysia. This is the solution that has been offered by former President Estado Macapagal and the Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman. And these things should be discussed on the table because they have been starting this issue, but not to resolve by means of war, because war is a destruction. War is a business. For those who are champion in making the armament, this is their own business, war business. But we are not for war, we are for peace. Let us continue what has been concorded by our leaders, both countries. We will do that, and we can demand what is due to us, and they can also have what is due to them. Let us talk together in the table, and I believe solution can be done through the communication. Let us not tempt ourselves to go to war, because war is an evil act. War is a devil action. It is not the act of God. We are clothed of the Spirit of God. Allah is with us. Let us do those things, but not to go beyond on the Allah message. Let us follow what has been in the Quran. And thirdly, to redirect and rehabilitate the ground forces of the MNLF, MILF, Abu Sayyaf, NPE, and other arms groups to go back to the fold of the law. I know that in spite of the movement of the Moro National Liberation Front, because I am one of the top, also general of the Moro National Front, as I have said, but still there are those fighters and members of the Moro National Liberation Front does not also go with the leadership of Chairman Miswari. Because those who died in war last decade had not been benefited. I have 100 family who fought against the armed forces of the Philippines, and all of these people had perished. Their family remain very pitiful because they don't have the son, they don't have the father, they don't have the family anymore to support them. But what had Miswari give something to them? That's why I come to think that in defending the war, there must be, or we must think twice before we have to do it. That's why I came and organized those MNLF who wish to join with my group because we are for economic development and for peace, then you are all welcome. Likewise, also the MILF under the command of Murad, only those who are very much interested in our program, you are 100% welcome to our program on economic development and peace. Likewise, the Abu Sayyaf, and I believe that act is a violation in the Quran by kidnapping or by other means in order to have the money which is not through a personal effort by us, then please join with us. We will look a solution wherein your family, you yourself, can be afforded with a blessing from these endeavors, wherein livelihood program will reach your barangays in order for you to live decently and for you to be with God guidance. The NPAs, the same also. I hope my brother NPAs Christians, you will also join the schools, particularly our brother in the area of Nanay, Lilia, Nadilia, who is also infested or with a big number of MPs on that Region 10, 11, and 13. Yours truly had been with the New People's Army. Way back in 1971, I was trained in Luzon. I stayed in Laguna, and I was in the political propaganda, and that was the first time when we initiated a New People's Army together with Maria Sison and also together with Ninoy Aquino as our group, and we fought against Marcos. I was with the New People's Army. Still my name, Sharief Mohammad Abubakar, is still within the record. I have been trained 1 month and a half in Laguna way back in 1979. Chairman Miswari, if you can still remember, after I have been in Luzon, in Laguna, we met each other in University of Manila, and you told me, go to Mindanao. We will have our own revolution. Do not join the CPP, NPA, the Communist Party of the Philippines. I was with this group, and we organized the NPA in Luzon together with Edgar Hobson, who died in Davao during the height of fight when Marcos ordered to capture him, but he was killed in mass operation in Davao. Edgar Hobson is my contemporary in National and New People's Army, Communist Party of the Philippines. I have been there, and I know what is the result. The result is loss of lives, destruction of property, no good result. That's why I organized this group, the National Liberation Front, through the help of Her Majesty and the King, Abdurajak. At least we have the same fact, we have the same move for economic development. And we have established the entire Mindanao, as I have said. We have a Sultan in its provinces. We have a Supreme Sultan that will lead the Sultan of its provinces. We are ready to help the national government through the Sultanate governance. That's why we have this multi-racial federal republic of the Philippines, to open the national government to come to the table and discuss the development of Mindanao as a whole. We have with us a supporting agency, which is a core coalition for reform. We have already personally contacted, and they are willing to support the move. The core is spearheaded by our president, by the president Jamie Sarto, and by his vice president for administration, Rudy Labco. And as far as Sabah is concerned, we have the king have designated, and the queen, the chief negotiator, a Malaysian citizen, in the name of Anwar bin Aziz, to bring the problem of Mindanao, the problem standoff, to be settled down in the proper federations of Malaysia, the Malaysian government. Hopefully, with the presence of the National Liberation Front, this thing can be settled down peacefully and by stopping the war in Sabah, because this is not a good example to the next generation to come. This is something to erase our wishes in the map of history, because if you die, you never come to be alive again. And lastly, and the last objective, is to sign an agreement with the supreme leader of Muslims, Lomad, and the native itself. Again, we have all these things. We have already the organization wherein the supreme leader of the Lumad had their intention to sign to support, consisting no less than 600,000 memberships led by Nanay, by Lilia, Lilia Nadilia Lu of Region 10, 13, and 11. We have also the supreme leader, the supreme Sultan, Sultan Hasim, again with the numbering sympathizers to join with the coup. They have signed their intention. Sultan Kili, Supreme Sultan Kili, Pasandalan, Kailawan also have signed the intention that Mindanao be progressive and be developed. Likewise, yours truly, as Raja Buayan, also signed the intention of to be together for the development of Mindanao through the mandate of our King and Queen of Southeast Asia. So with this, I think this is the only solution to all people of Mindanao, whether you are a Muslims, a Christians, or a Lumad, to have to join with us, because we are for your prosperity, we are for your children, we are for development, but we hate war and we are against war, because Sultan of Sulu and North Borneo, our grandfather refused war. As a matter of fact, we have signed several treaties just not to have a war. Our grandfather has signed a treaty of Batis, a treaty of Carpenter Agreement, a treaty of Paris 1932, even a treaty of 1870 done by Sultan Jamalul Alam Sharif, Sultan Jamalul Alam Bitwan, because he doesn't want war. Likewise, the first Sultan of Sulu, Shariful Hasim Abubakar, they don't want war. They want peace. Peace among their neighbors. So why we go to war and fight against our neighbor when the Sultanate of Sulu refused war? That's why there are a lot of treaty. There are a lot of concord that has been done by our great leaders, the Sultan. So why not follow the footsteps of the Sultan? That we have to go togetherly, not to initiate wars. Or even if the war come, we told them we don't want war. Let us be like a country of Switzerland, wherein they don't want war. Because if there is no war, there is peace. When there is peace, there is harmony, and there is love and tranquility. We want love. We don't want hatred, because hatred is an act of evil, and love is an act of God, because God is love. With this, I would like to end myself that hopefully that everybody will have to support our cause, particularly the cause of our Queen and King, Mamay Abdurajak and Maria Makiling, that we have to look for solution. Without you, we can never be what we are. Thank you.